The veneers are shaking. The crime stories are shaking. The cargo is shaking. Los Angeles is shaking. The presidential election is shaking. I don't know who's shaking, Lil Yachty or Caribou. Just do this right now. Oh. Hey everybody, we're back. Hey y'all, it's Everybody Hate Krissy here, and we're doing something a little bit different. I'm at my best friend Germany's house, and we're about to watch something alongside y'all. Now, I'm gonna be in my streaming bag all year, okay? So y'all just come on in, bring it on in. We're about to watch the Ace family. Catherine Piaz used to be Catherine McBroom, married to Austin McBroom of the Ace family. They were a multi-million-dollar YouTube couple, icons in the social media and content creator world. Well, the wife is finally coming out saying all what happened. Y'all, it was crazy. I'm talking about, this is like Justin Bieber involved, living next door to them. He's stalking the wife. Like, it was super crazy. So you guys are going to watch with us the show, okay? We're watching it. You're watching it. We're watching it together. It's going to be some pauses. Going to be some ads. We're going to stop it. Work with us. We don't stream all night, okay? Period. Okay, so first things first, Germany, go say hi while I run it back.
Hi guys, it's Germany, otherwise known as Makeup by Germany. We have some food. We got some buffalo chicken dip. I made it earlier.
Yes, I should have made it big. Y'all, it's both of us that were big. We're eating buffalo chicken dip. Germany, show them what you made before we start. Period.
It tastes better than it looks.
It's about to be amazing, and we're about to watch this Catherine McBroom episode. Now, y'all just seen the clip at the side. I'm finna fix the clip, okay? So the clip is shaking in 2 seconds. We're going to bring the clip back up. You guys are going to watch it with us. This is about to be crazy. I'm telling you. Okay, so is it on the first second, Germany?
Literally.
One.
Wait. Okay.
1, 2, 3, press play.
Gang, welcome back to another episode of Call Her Daddy. Today, I am sitting down with Catherine Piaz. If you are a fan of the Ace family, then you already know exactly what we're about to get into. But for those of you who may not be as familiar with today's guest, I'm going to catch you up, okay? Catherine and her ex-husband, Austin McBroom, started the Ace family YouTube channel in 2016. They were essentially the first family vloggers to ever do it, and people were so obsessed with them. To this day, they still have 18 million subscribers, okay? So for years, everyone watched Catherine and Austin's relationship play out online. We watched them get engaged, have kids, move into new homes, and they documented every aspect of their lives on YouTube. Now, throughout their relationship, there was a lot of controversy. There was financial turmoil, and there were tons and tons of cheating allegations. But to the public, they always put up a united front until they have been basically not really addressing anything. How often Austin was Catherine aware?
There's a better way to save on work travel. Book your work travel on Engine to find exclusive deals and save up to 60% on hotels and extended stays. Wherever your work takes you, save big on work travel.
Worrying about this bitch and her bag. Got it.
They suddenly stopped posting and revealed that they were getting a divorce. For the past about 2 years, they have been basically not really addressing anything, and there are so many unanswered questions. How often was Austin actually cheating? Was Catherine aware the entire time? What was going on with their finances? And what is the truth behind the drug allegations? So, Daddy Gang, I am excited to give Catherine the opportunity to speak on all of it today in long form for the first time. Let's get into it. What is up, Daddy Gang? It is your founding father, Alex Cooper, with Call Her
That was a free.
Catherine Pies, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got a lot to talk about, obviously. You and your ex-husband, Austin McBroom, started the Ace family, which quickly became quite literally the biggest family YouTube channel ever to exist. And then suddenly you guys went dark. And I think everyone has a lot of questions, which we're going to get into. But first, I just want to know, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I feel like I was silencing myself. And I think that I'm in a new place in my life. And I'm just so excited just to like be free with myself and just be authentic. Not that I wasn't authentic before. I just feel like I'm at just a new stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Austin's last video together was almost 2 years ago. I know.
I didn't even know that.
Almost 2 years ago.
Okay, that's crazy.
Which is crazy because I feel like for so long people watched you every single day. Like you were on our screens for so long. So to go for 2 years, it's been a long time. Why are you ready to talk about all this now?
I think for me, it's like I felt silenced for so long, and it wasn't like someone was silencing me. I was silencing myself. And I think that for all those years of just not being able to just speak freely and just like really sit with myself, I think through my healing, it was really hard, Alex. It was really hard. And I think that now I'm just so healed from all of my experiences, not just my relationship, all of the traumas and all the experiences that I faced early on in my life. I've just healed so much through all of them, truly, like actually truly. And I just feel so a lot of it is alive. I feel like I can really just be myself, and it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to be me and sit with myself. And I wrote a book.
Yes, you did.
I wrote a book about, some of the experiences that I had early in my life, into my adulthood. And I think through my healing and through writing of this book, I really just like came back to myself.
That's really beautiful because I think so many people always say like, why now to people?
We're gonna pause it.
And I actually was interested to know like, why now? And I can feel your energy. And like, I think a lot of
So we're going to scoot it on up to 504 where she's at.
Okay, cute.
So we on the same page. Same page.
Maybe you want to press play on this at the same time you press play on that, so you can just
1, 2, 3.
Myself, through all those allegations of cheating and infidelity and all those things. It's like I was so afraid to speak up. I was so afraid to say I'm an idiot, like I just didn't see it, or I was so afraid to say, I'm trying to hold the very little piece that we have in our family. I'm trying to keep that together. I'm trying to shelter the very little piece that we have, for me, it was like, I'm embarrassed. I don't know what's true or not. There's so many things that aren't true. It's really hard to like differentiate what is true, what isn't, until I really found out.
Okay. We're going to go all the way back because I feel like we know you as the Ace family. We know you as Catherine, a part of the Ace family. But I think it's important, and you talk about this in your book, I want to just lightly talk about your life before all of this. Describe like what was your experience growing up in your family dynamic?
Yeah. So my mom was born in Nicaragua. My dad is Panamanian. They met in Panama. They were teenagers when they met. And, they had a lot of hardship. They had a very toxic relationship, just like any young couple that is new to a country, new language, new everything. They didn't have family, they didn't have friends. And so the first half of my childhood, my dad was a single dad. My mom took herself out of that toxic relationship and moved to Florida. And so, I knew she did that for the best for the best of the family. And it's interesting because I'm like, I had such an awareness even as a child that I like knew like she's doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Like I knew that as a child, and I'm like,
you guys write me in the chat. Let me know if you can hear it.
This for us, you know, for the bigger picture. My parents didn't have much money, you know, really nothing. And I had this really weird relationship with money. Like I remember thinking like, you know, my mom would say things like, we don't have the money for that, or we can't do that, or, you know, and I remember looking at her and thinking, I'm going to make a lot of money one day.
I know
so
that
right. I can do all the things that I want to do, and I can support you, and I can support my family. And it was like this drive that I had inside of me.
So many adults, you get to that place where you're like, what was lacking in your childhood that then you were craving? Because whether you had friends that had it or you were told you couldn't have it, then it's almost like that goal in your head, which then we'll get to because then you eventually got all of that. And sometimes it doesn't mean that that is the thing that brings you happiness. But when you're young and you have this vision,
totally,
it's like you're going to go for it no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm interested though, hearing you talk about your parents having a toxic relationship. Like, how did their marriage impact you at a young age of like how you viewed love?
Yeah, hugely. Oh my God, that's such a good question. You're so good at it. Thank you. Okay, so I feel like when my marriage was going downhill, we didn't have good communication.
Unwell drinks everywhere.
You know, I take full accountability, and I had the worst communication. And I'm still working on it today. I think I've gotten a lot better. But when I look at my parents, I thought, I don't want to be another couple that doesn't make it. You know, I want to have that traditional love. You say your I do's and you're in there for, you know, till death do us part. That was like kind of the way that I saw it.
Me too. Where's Sean going?
Also having children, you know, you want your children to grow up with both their parents. And that was my dream. It's like, I want to be able to have that family. And when we had it, you know what I mean? And I thought, oh my gosh. Like, I remember one morning, I remember thinking like, did I make it? Like looking around, I remember, did I make it? And I was like, well, why do I feel so empty?
Ooh. Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Tinder. Have you ever seen someone on Tinder that really stands out to you? Like, oh my gosh, this person is such a catch. Now with Tinder's first impressions, you can send a message to help stand out.
I need to click over the computer.
Match. Try debating their hottest take, bonding over their weirdly specific obsessions, or hit them with a joke that they absolutely have to respond to. Try Tinder's first impressions feature and explore all the possibilities for yourself. Tinder is just swipe. Download Tinder today.
However you book your flight, first check Connect to search and compare.
And the Tinder commercial is going, so it's fine.
To find a great deal.
Franklin University makes it possible.
Mom, I've tried everything.
Buy me?
Yeah, so you can like do what you gotta do. That's enough.
That's gonna interrupt you.
How's it interrupting me?
Your ears may
I'm about to
hear.
move my feet and
And your
crisscross
craving
it.
ears. Van Station's cheesesteak, fresh grilled to order and served
Much better.
straight from the oven, along with a big order of fresh cut fries.
So,
I gotta get over here.
Van Station, love yourself.
y'all tell me, can y'all hear?
Let's talk about Austin.
Oh,
Pause it.
Can you tell me how you guys met? Like, how did that?
10:05. You guys tell me. Oh wait, see, you can't all the way see. We might as well move this too, then. Damn. Well, right in front of your face is crazy.
I can back up.
Should be this way. Hold it real quick.
Try to keep it there. And
Now
just
this,
scoot
no,
this
no,
over.
don't like think that that's gonna fall. Yeah. Technical diffs. They're probably like, what is going on? With this lady in her live stream. You guys just stick beside me. There's two people in here. We're watching it together. Just wait. Oh, that's what I didn't want. Okay, guys, we're still here. Stick beside me.
don't know what else you could use. I really don't have anything.
Okay. Let's close it, boom. Okay, see ya. Mm-hmm. Hey y'all. Let me fix it. Okay.
I have a regular tripod, but that's about it.
It's just. I just need it. Once we touch it, it's up. 2 people on the live. Thanks for writing me. Please write me and tell me if you guys can even hear like what we're doing. Can you guys even hear it? Is it over there? Okay. Well, point towards there. If we can just get the point towards here. Okay. Y'all stay with me. I'm just trying to make this webcam stick on this thing. Y'all, hello? This is just gonna get. Okay, so we're gonna take it all the way back. Thank you for the 2 people. Nothing to see here. You guys say something on the stream. Say something. Say something on the stream. Okay, so I want to know if you guys can even hear. You're like, girl, I came here. I thought you were talking about tea. We're gonna eventually get this down packed. Okay, so.
Tinder, it starts with a swipe.
Okay. Just go press play.
I moved
That all go down.
Yeah. I moved to Los Angeles. I had this fuel to move to Los
A one-way ticket.
My friend invited me to an all-white attire party.
Okay, you guys, I see 4 people are here.
And
Y'all need to write me and let me know if y'all can hear us, okay?
And I looked at him and I thought, I don't know, why would I feel like I know him? So interesting. And she introduced us and we shook hands and that was it. And then I took an Uber home and I didn't talk to him. So about a month later, he messaged me on, I think like Twitter or something. He's like, hey, I'd like to send you something. And I didn't respond. And so a month went by. And then he messaged me again and he was like, hey, I'd like to take you to dinner. And I almost didn't go. I was like, I don't know why, but something's telling me to go. But I'm just like, I don't know. And so I'll never forget that morning. He was like, he goes, do you like sushi? And I said, no. He's like,
She's acting like she hated everything about this guy. No, she didn't want to go.
At Nobu Malibu. And I said, okay, that's a night. Like in my head, I've never been there before, so I'll go. So we go and we're sitting across from each other, we're by the ocean. And we're talking, he was asking me a lot of questions about me. I thought that was really nice. He was a young college student. It was like, he was going into senior year of college, playing D1 basketball. And he's talking, and all of a sudden, like, I just don't hear anything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is a person that I'm going to have children with. And that is a person that I'm going to marry.
After he doesn't call you?
In that moment.
No, they're on a date.
Oh,
nothing can tell me otherwise.
What was it about him?
It was just a feeling. It was just this feeling. It's like this inner knowing. And I thought, I just know it's him.
Okay. You write about in the book that the first time you have your first kiss is the same day that you both also say, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Were you nervous at how fast it was moving? No. Why?
Because it was just meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this thing recently.
Meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this thing recently. I don't know who said this. I'll find out and let everyone know. But she said when you meet
someone that you're meant to be with, you skip the dating phase. Oh. So it's like we just
went from like meeting each other to being like You know what I mean?
Who said I love you first?
He said it first.
Did you say it back immediately?
Immediately.
And so it didn't.
To the ones who carry us. Kate Spade.
This is it.
This is it.
If you had to pinpoint it back then, what do you think was different?
And so it didn't freak you out at all. You didn't feel like it was like love bomby at all. You were just like, this is it.
This is it.
If you had to
You guys
pinpoint
have been trying to
it
make
back
this
then,
work. Yes, you can hear the live. Kinks
about
galore.
Austin
Wait,
compared to
can
all
you
the
hear
other
the
guys
live
that
if I
you
do
dated?
this?
Well, one, he doesn't care what.
If I turn this off and let her just play, can you hear it?
About Austin compared to all the other guys that you had dated?
Tell me, can you hear it?
Well, one, he doesn't care what anybody thinks.
Because that would help.
I find that so attractive. And
If you can't hear the video, tell me you can't hear it.
It's like, I don't give a shit what anyone thinks. But he was like that person for us in our dynamic, you know, taught me a lot. I also think, you know, he's just very motivated. He's a very motivated person. And I was just so attracted to the fact that he was so free with himself. And I never met anyone like that. Actually, the only person that I know close to him is my brother. And I always said, oh my God, you and my brother need to meet because you guys are so much alike.
What was Austin's reaction?
So it's interesting because the
Like 2
day
months.
before we
It
was so quick.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Your reaction, what was Austin's reaction?
That would never be
So
okay.
it's interesting because
You don't know him.
the day
Would you
before
wanna
we
start a
found
family? And
out,
he's like,
we were
yeah,
at a
I'd
restaurant
love to
and
have
his
kids
friend
one
just
day,
had his
but,
baby. So he
you
showed
know,
me the
maybe in
newborn
the
photos.
future, you know,
And I was looking down, I was
he's
like, oh my
we'll
gosh,
start a
like,
family
would
one
you
day. And
would
I
you
was
want to
like,
start a family one day? He's like,
I know,
yeah,
like, I
I'd
feel it,
love to
you know,
have
I
kids
feel
one day. He's
a
like,
family
you know,
for
maybe in the
us. Just, I
future,
just
you
feel
know,
it.
and he goes like, we'll
But I
start
didn't
a
know I was
family
pregnant
one day.
already.
And I was like,
How did you tell him?
I know.
Great, so you didn't know each other.
You know, I
He
feel
was
a
in the room,
family
he was sitting
for
on his
us.
belly,
Just,
you
I
know,
just knew
scrolling
it.
on his phone, and
But I didn't know I was pregnant
I
already.
feel nauseous.
How did you
I
tell
feel
him?
kind of
Girl.
He was right there in the
So
room.
we took a
He was
pregnancy test, and I'm
in the
thinking,
room. He was sitting on his belly,
nothing's
you know,
gonna happen.
scrolling on his
I
phone,
took
and
the test,
I thought, you know, I
and
feel
immediately
nauseous.
stood
You know,
up.
I
I
feel
didn't
kind
even
of
think
sick.
about it. I
And he
just
thought,
stood
maybe
up,
we should
hey,
take a
and I
pregnancy
threw the
test. And I'm thinking,
I
like,
got him by like
nothing's gonna happen.
close to him on
I
the
took
bed,
the test,
and he's looking
and
at me.
immediately I
I'm
stood
like,
up.
yeah,
I didn't
I
even
think
think
we're
about it. I
pregnant.
just
And
stood up,
and
hey,
it
and I
was,
threw
the
it.
lines were very
Just to
faint,
get
so we
him
couldn't tell
by,
for
like,
sure.
close
But
to him on the
just
bed.
his reaction,
And he's looking and he's like,
and just
I'm like, yeah, I think
With
we're
her
pregnant.
life.
And
She knew it for
and
2 months and got
the lines were
pregnant.
very
No.
faint, so we couldn't tell
no
for
matter
sure.
what.
No.
But
You
just
started
his
this
reaction
YouTube channel,
and
obviously,
just
shortly after.
You knew this man for 2 months, got pregnant, and thought that was safe.
Good, no matter what.
So when
You
he
started
was
this YouTube
in college for
channel,
that last
obviously,
year,
shortly after
I decided
he
to
was
move in with him.
born.
I was pregnant for that whole
How
year.
did you guys decide to do this?
And he had
So
a really
when
like
he
someone that was
was,
kind of there.
Oh, you're out of order. He could have been the
last
killer.
year,
Because he was playing,
I
you know,
decided to
D1
move in with him.
basketball,
I was
and he was still
pregnant for
going to
that whole
school,
year.
and then you know I was
And
pregnant,
he
and
had
so he was
a
kind of
roommate,
just
like
there to
someone
like
that was kind of there
keep
just to
tabs
help
and
with
make sure
that
that
last year
everything
of
was
college
good.
because he was playing, you know,
And
D1
he was the one
basketball
that
and he was still
said,
going
"Hey
to school.
guys,
And
She thought he was going to the
I was
league.
pregnant, and so he was kind of just there to like
and he's like,
That's what I think she
sure
thought.
everything was
on
good.
Facebook, and people are making money off
And
of
he
that."
was
And
the
I'm
one
thinking
that
like,
said,
what?
hey
So we make
guys,
like
like,
cute little
you
homemade
guys should
videos,
really
you know,
start a YouTube
him talking
channel.
to my belly, or
And
just
he's
us being
like, you know,
funny
your
or
videos
goofy
are
or
going
whatever.
viral on Facebook and
And
people are
he's
making
like,
money off of
people
them. And I'm
are
thinking, like,
making
what? You would make
videos
like
and
cute little
monetizing
homemade
your
videos,
videos.
you know,
Why don't you
and
guys
talking
make
to
your own
belly or
videos?
just us being funny
And
and
I
goofy
thought,
or
Almost sour
whatever.
cream. This is good.
And he's
you
like,
can make money off
people
your videos.
are
I'm like,
taking your
what? Like,
videos
that's so
and
crazy.
monetizing your videos. Why don't you guys make your own
At
videos?
the
Wow.
time, you know, his
And I
dreams
thought,
were to play in the
can you do
NBA.
that? You can make money off your
And
videos?
that summer,
Like,
you know,
what? Like, that's so
he got with the
crazy.
wrong agent. And he did a
And
couple tryouts. You
at
know,
the
one with the
time, you know,
Lakers,
his
one with the
dreams
Knicks.
were to play in the NBA.
And just it didn't
And
work
that
out. And we
summer,
thought,
you know,
what are we gonna do?
he
Like,
got with the
you know,
wrong
you go
agent and
play
he did a couple of
overseas,
tryouts, you know, with the
in
Lakers,
Greece
with
or
the
something.
Knicks.
We move the go
And
as
just
a
it
family.
didn't work out.
I feel like she thought he was going to the league, and that's why she thought it was okay to get
We
pregnant.
play
You know,
overseas,
it's set in stone. Like we don't know what that
in
looks like.
Greece or something. Like move the baby
And so then
together
that's when
as a
we were
family.
like, let's get
And
Let me make your money. Is it
but
echo?
nothing is, you know,
Whose
it's set in
decision
stone.
was
We don't
Okay.
know what that
I'll
looks
turn it
like.
off.
for a part of the content?
And so then that's when we were like, let's start YouTube.
But back in the beginning, once Elle was born,
Tell me if this is better.
whose decision was it to make her a part of the content?
It just came naturally. Yeah, because I didn't film my birth with Elle. It was like, you know, we just private, you know, just, I mean, we filmed on our phone, you know, we weren't making a vlog. And I think like it just made sense because we're so hands-on with our child, and I was
need more
not
sour
gonna get a
cream.
nanny. I'm like, I'm gonna raise my daughter, you know. I'm finally had my daughter here, you know, and I thought, well, we can make content with our daughter, you know. We can just naturally, organically share our journey.
Does it sound okay to you?
In the beginning, or later on about putting your kids on camera?
Never. And you know why, Alex?
Why?
Because back in the day, it was really new. Like YouTube, it's been a thing for a while, but we were really like that.
20 years of YouTube.
I hate to say the word, but I feel like we kind of
Pioneered.
that family vlogging
That's okay.
experience. You know what I mean? It's like we were the first to do it at that magnitude in that
100%.
way. And it was like it was like
Wow.
this monster of like social media was starting, you know. Sometimes I think back, I'm like, oh my god, am I part of this craziness that's going on now in the world, you know?
Because obviously,
Yeah.
I'm sure you
People are crazy.
Like, there are people that accuse you and Austin of
Okay.
exploiting your
I love
kids.
how
Like,
they
what
rolled
do you
right
think?
over.
I hear two sounds playing off
I think
sync.
that, like, when we first started, it was so pure. It was like pure intentions. It was like, obviously we want to make a living, you know, like anyone.
Okay,
wants
let
to
me
make a
fix
living at
that.
work. But it was
If we just watch it on your computer, can they still see you?
Yeah.
Then why don't we should just do it like that?
Okay. So let's take it back to here. Just watch on the computer.
Pure intentions. It was like, obviously we want to make a living, you know, like anyone wants to make a living, you got to work. But it was more like we're just being present with our family, our daughter. And it's interesting because we would make these elaborate videos, and we found out very early on that people enjoyed our family vlogs, our simple family vlogs sitting on the floor. Those would get more views than our like big elaborated videos we would spend money on and doing. So it was just like, well, people just want to see us. They just relate to us. Maybe they see themselves in us.
So much of your success is through your children. Like, did you guys have a big conversation about setting them up with money and like putting money away for them? Or was it more just like, it's all the families?
Yeah, no, they have their separate bank accounts. I actually very early on in my career, I think 2017, when Elle was about a year old, we got her a bank account, you know? Yeah, I think that those were the conversations and things we were having.
Yeah.
But in terms of like exploitation and stuff like that, never crossed our mind. That was like, I just feel like we were just the beginning of something new.
How do you feel about it now?
You know, we're in the age of technology, and, you know, it's like, there's no right or wrong, I don't think. Like, I think that like if people choose to keep their certain private things away from social media, that's beautiful. And I think that if some people choose to do it the opposite way, I think that that's beautiful too. I think that everything's meant to be the way that it's meant to be.
Once you guys kind of started really becoming yourselves and people knew the Ace family, like on a good month, can I ask, like, how much were you guys making?
Yeah, please.
So there was a period we were making seven figures a month. To me, it was like I was numb to it. Truly, like it was just like, it didn't make any sense. I was going through this phase in my life where I just felt so disattached. And now I look back and think, oh my God, I would have done so much with that. I would have invested. I would have bought my mom a house, my dad a house. I would have done this and that. And it's like, we just didn't have the right mentors. We didn't have the right tools. You know, we didn't have, we had a lot of yes men around us, and we just made really bad business decisions along the way.
Once you guys started filming everything all the time, when did it start to feel like you weren't just filming parts of your life, but you were living to film and get content? Like, when do you think that switch happens? Because I feel like for a lot of creators, it happens.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. There was moments where I'm like, because, you know, like big reveals and stuff, like people want to watch those. That's a great clickbait. And so, you know, it was genuine for a long time. It was like, okay, like he's genuinely surprising me. He's genuinely proposing to me. Like, it was like, wow, like this is so crazy that we can capture such a big milestone, big moment, and we can actually look back on it too, like it's filmed. But then also having so many eyes on you. I didn't know back in the day, back in the time. Now I know, but I didn't know that I was not protecting myself. But the moment that I realized where I don't know if this is real or not real, I don't know. That must have happened.
I don't think so.
Genuinely, there was like a big moment for me. It was
talk to the camera.
When my second daughter was born. I just felt this disconnection, and it was like, I actually don't want to film this, but like, I know that people are waiting for it because they've invested so much. And there was this fine line of like, do I put my foot down and just like live in the moment, or do I also and then he was holding the camera, so it made it easier. But then it was like, is he here though? Is he present? So that was like a big moment for me.
Oh. And did you end up releasing a video?
Oh yeah.
How did you feel about it?
I was just like really numb and empty at the time. Yeah.
Did you ever find that you started to not be clear if Austin was doing romantic gestures for you because he was filming it so it would look good for you guys as a couple? Or were you like, wait, is he actually doing this romantic gesture and he just happens to be filming?
Oh, totally. Yeah, there was moments where I'm thinking like, I don't know, like, you really surprised me, you know, where it's like, and then it was like me kind of having to follow with that like surprise. And then I'm like, I feel like I'm a clown in a circus. You know what I mean?
Right. Because you couldn't just naturally be like,
my daughter receives $1,800 a month for caring for me at home. She's finally getting financial support for the care she's providing for me anyway. Entire care.
And Michael B. Jordan.
Like if my husband surprises me, of course I'm going to be surprised. But then you kind of like chill for a second after and be like, wait, when did you think of this? But you see the camera. So then it's like, keep it going. Call the kids down. Get everyone around. Let's run to the backyard. And it's like,
it's a production.
A production.
Yeah.
And it's theatrical.
That was a pimp.
Which feels like you probably were on this hamster wheel where it's like you can't get off this ride almost. And did you and Austin ever have a conversation being like, let's set boundaries of like what we should keep private and what we shouldn't?
There might have been moments where we kind of talked about, but to be honest with you, not really. Like, we didn't have that communication within ourselves. Yeah.
In the book, you write that Austin made a lot of financial decisions without asking you, and that it was so extreme you would check your bank account and see 6 figures missing. Where was all the money going?
Yeah, there was moments where, I'd see some money coming out and it was, to pay this, pay that. And it was like, I didn't feel like I was having that like wife, like that partner, that husband and wife conversation about our finances. And it would be heartbreaking to look at the bank because I was very well aware of what was in there. And it's like, where did that go? Like, what's happening? Or like,
bitches.
One thing as well, it's like little things that, things that I would never think to pay for, like a private jet, for instance, that personally for me wasn't something I would ever do. Like if I had never met him, I would have never been on a private jet today. I'm like, probably never, because I'm thinking like, I'll just take a regular flight. But little moments like that.
But it seems, which makes me sad for you because I feel like that unfortunately is a lot of people's experience where you're like, I didn't feel like it was a partnership when it came to finances, and yet you were 50-50 and making all this money. Like, did you ever go to him and be like, Austin, I feel a little bit in the dark here. Like we need to have.
Yeah, for sure.
And how did he react when you would bring that up?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want you to worry. And I don't know. I just feel like, I get it, but it's like, that's not what a marriage is about. A marriage is about talking about these very deep things that really affect like our children and our future. And like, when you make certain investments, the goal is to make at least make your money back, And so that was really stressful for me. That really caused a lot of stress and strain in our relationship.
That's what I was wondering, because I know you write a lot about the home foreclosure that you guys went through, which was so public. And so many people were talking about it of like, are they broke? What's happening? And you put a lot of the detail beautifully in the book. But like overall, when you look back at that moment in your life, what did losing that house represent to you?
So leading up to that moment,
It been going down.
I felt like there was a lot of things that I was losing control over, right? My family, my relationship, our career, everything, right? There was a lot of narratives and things that were being said. And I was really strong. And I was like, I'm going to be strong. And, I'm going to keep fighting. And we have our home. We have our home. Our kids are happy. They're healthy. We're healthy. Everything's fine. And so one day I wake up and I get a phone call. It's my father-in-law. He said, Catherine, the house is under foreclosures all over the news. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? He goes, well, your loan ended and it's a jumbo loan. No one's going to accept you. You don't have the certificate of occupancy. But I'm like, but I've been paying the mortgage every month for 3 years. Everything. What do I need to do? What do I need to pay? I'll save it. What do we need? There's nothing you can do. It's under foreclosure. It's gone. You have 30 days to move out.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was heartbreaking. I cried in Ocean. And it's crazy because out of all the things that were happening in that era, that was the thing that really broke me. Because I was looking for a home my whole life. It's like I just wanted to feel like I'm at home.
Can you explain to me, because I'm sure people are really confused and want a little bit of clarity on, like, there was so much going on behind the scenes, obviously, that people didn't know. Like, what was it really like between you and Austin when the cameras were off?
When the cameras were off, I wouldn't say that there was much of a change.
Okay.
I think if anything, at least I can speak for myself, I feel like I was pretending. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like I was just so disconnected from myself, not like everything around me, but like within myself, And I was like, all of this happened so fast. Like, I gave birth. We started a YouTube channel. It grows overnight. I'm a new mother. I'm newly married. There's all these eyes on us. There's so many people that want things from us. And, it was just a lot of things. And so when the cameras were off, it was more like, I'm just going to sit here and breastfeed my baby and just like scroll on my phone. Like, I never went out. I never hung out with my friends. I hardly saw my family. I was in a really dark place.
Let's talk about the cheating allegations. So,
as I started growing out my natural hair color, I noticed my moderate to severe lines. I booked a Botox cosmetic consultation to temporarily make my frown, crow's feet, and forehead lines look.
Over the years, there were so many different allegations of Austin cheating on you. And it was a pretty constant conversation online for a couple of years. At first, how much attention were you giving to these rumors? And did you even believe them when it first started?
When it first started, my heart sank. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I remember like sitting with myself, oh my gosh, like, is this gonna happen? And then it was like, oh, well, I see him. I'm with him every day. Like, we're co-parenting, we're married, we're business partners. I mean, when is he going to have time? But it's really interesting. I was telling my mom the other day, I remember when I was 16 years old and I walked into a room where the TV was on, and there was, it was that talk show, Tyra Banks. And there was a lady who said, if a man has enough time to go into the bathroom, he has enough time to cheat. And it just stuck with me. And I thought, does he have enough time to cheat on me? You know what I mean? And so that was kind of like the beginning. It's like, I don't know what's true or not. And, and I'd even have moments where we'd be laying in bed, just falling asleep. And I'd get a text from a random number. Your husband is out at a party with me, da, da, da. And I'm thinking like, he's right over here. So there's moments I didn't know what to believe. There's some things that are true. There's some things that are distorted. There's some things that are not true. So it was really hard to tell.
And in those moments, did you, because I know you're kind of saying your communication wasn't great. When the allegations started, did you bring it up to him at all? Or was that another thing that you guys kind of were like?
Yeah, no. I brought it up.
And what was his response in the beginning?
Oh, that comes with the territory, and let's not respond because we're just going to add fuel to the fire, and it's not true. I'm like, okay, and
And you trusted him?
I did. Yeah, I really trusted him.
When you look back at the very beginning, like the very beginning allegations, do you believe even then he was cheating?
No.
Can you take me to the moment where you found out about he was cheating. And then we'll dial it back to like all the others. But the first big moment, you're like, oh shit, he's cheating. Where were you? What happened? In our hectic, fast-paced lives, we could use some slowing down. Haagen-Dazs is made to be savored and enjoyed slowly. Introducing new Haagen-Dazs Belgian waffle cones available. The first one. Let's go to the first.
So, you know, I don't remember exactly the first moment because I feel like there's just so many. But there was this one
so many cheating
moment. I had just had my daughter, my second daughter. She was about 6 months old or something. And he was like, hey, I have to go to Miami for a meeting. And I go, please. And I'm the type of partner where I love for my partner to feel free. Like, I trust you. Go. You want to go on a trip? You want to go on a boys trip? Whatever you want to do, go. Like, that's just my personality. Now I look back, I'm thinking, like, I should change some things up a little bit and care a little bit more.
Right.
But at the time, I just had a baby. I was tired. I was filming every day. I had another baby, taking care, changing diapers, breastfeeding. I breastfed all my kids 5 years straight. Wow. So super exhausted, super tired, you know. And so he said, I want to go to Miami. And I said, you go on your trip. And I remember calling my mom saying, I would never let my husband leave when my baby's just a couple months old. Like, I don't know, you're different. And I'm thinking, oh, well, I don't know. I was like, I think he deserves it. He's been working so hard. He edits. People don't realize he edited every single video on our channel. We didn't have an editor. So I thought, he deserves to go out. Like, it's okay. He wants to go on a business trip, whatever. I remember that business trip like it was yesterday, that business trip. He called me quite a few times where I felt like, you're calling me a little too much. Like, I was just like, I don't know, like, it's okay, go have fun, you know? And he pocket dialed me accidentally. And I heard women in the back. There were a couple women. And I thought, okay, well, I guess my husband's hanging out with women. Yeah. I'm thinking, whatever, hung up the phone, continued my day. A couple of months go by, and this blonde male makeup artist makes this video on YouTube talking about my husband and how he was in Miami, and there was this group of people, and there was all these girls, and there was this boat, and all these. And to be honest with you, till this day, I never watched the video, but I have gotten that like information from some good friends who watched it for me and were able to like process it for me and help me process it. And I was pregnant in that moment.
The ones who care so fiercely that they carry us all. Kate Spade.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integrated platform.
And I had to listen to that. And nobody knew I was pregnant. I was having my son. And I remember bawling and thinking, is this true? And even if it's not true, why are people saying this? This is like so detailed and like, and I believed, I didn't believe the horrors, but it was like, am I just being stupid right now? Like, am I just really not sitting with this? Or do I vindicate him? Do I vindicate our family? And that's what I did. And I think back at my old self, and I think, poor girl, like, I wish I could hug her today. Like, she was just going through so much. And she, the old version of myself just wanted to protect that little piece we had in the family, And I would see it in his eyes, and I'm thinking like, I don't know, like something's not right, but I'm going to have a baby and I have to focus on the baby right now. So I wasn't sure, right? And that was a big moment for me because there was some things that were being said that it just made a lot of sense. It was all adding up. You know what I mean?
And did you confront him?
Yeah, I did, but not in a way where I was like, it was more like, how do we fix this? Because this is not true. And he's like, yeah, that's not true. That's, whatever, this guy, and he's making things up. And oh my God, he's trying to extort me and this and that. And, some of those things were true. Some of them weren't. And I thought, how do we fix it? And I was just lying to myself. Yeah. I knew deep inside something didn't feel right.
Yeah.
But then a couple months later, I was, we were filming this thing called Vlogmas on YouTube. People film every day for the month of December. And we had done it, you know, it was like a common
I
theme.
remember.
We would do every winter. And this was in December. And I was, you know, at that point, I was like about 3 months pregnant with my son. I didn't know I was having a boy yet. So I just, you know, I was pregnant. I wore baggy shirts and like, you know, like I'd wear bigger shirts because I didn't want anyone to know yet. I wanted to keep it to myself, especially because there was all this like negativity going around about him.
Yep.
So I'm like, I'm just going to keep this to myself. And then there was this moment that changed everything for me. I had a dream. I have a lot of dreams. Yeah. Very symbolic. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
I had a dream where I was walking into my bedroom, the bedroom I was sleeping in. We had this massive, long 10-foot bed. I'm walking into the room and he's sitting in the bed and there's a woman with this beautiful blonde hair. And I just see the back of her and she turns around and she's this demon. Ooh. And I woke up from that nightmare and I was crying. I was like, oh my God, that was the worst nightmare I've ever had. Like there was a demon on my bed. Mm. And the whole day felt eerie. It was so eerie. It was so weird. And I didn't tell anybody. And I was just like, that's so weird. Couple of hours later, we start filming. And we go to this studio to get my daughter's first haircut. She was a year old. She's getting her first haircut. And he, you know, our assistant, who was Austin's friend from back in the day, was there. It was Austin and myself and our daughter. And when we walked in, you know, there's some fans and they were like, can we take a picture? And I'm like, yeah, like, let's finish filming, you doing this and we'll take the photo. So they're all waiting there. And, you know, everyone in the salon knows who we are and stuff. So it was just, you know, a regular moment. Yeah. We're there filming. He's filming our daughter's first haircut. And I'm kind of like, I'm taking photos for myself for my phone, you know, like, oh my gosh, like taking the photo. And then like a movie, my phone dies. It just goes black. And I look at him without a thought and I go, give me your phone. Let me take a photo. Cause you know, we're going to miss the moment. She's getting her first haircut. As soon as my hand grabs that phone, mind you, I had never looked in his phone. Ooh. Ever. Never. I grabbed the phone and it felt kind of weird because I'm like holding his phone, right? It just felt odd because I knew maybe things he was hiding. I didn't want to look.
Yep.
As soon as I grabbed the phone, like out of a movie, this long text comes through. If you really love your wife, you wouldn't be da 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 da. And I like my brain scanned it, but I wasn't able to read it fully. Yeah. But in that moment, my heart drops. I'm pregnant. There's people watching us. The camera's on. It felt like it just felt surreal. The assistant notices, looks at him. He grabs the phone from me and instantly deletes the message. Mm. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's true.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So bad.
And I was calm, very calm. And we paid and we finished. I wasn't in my body anymore. I wasn't on earth anymore. We walk out of the store or the salon and I said, Austin, who was that?
Hey Siri.
Lip liner, $25.
Are you single?
Elite matchmaking services, $50,000.
Breeze after Beyonce.
And he's like, it's nobody, it's nothing. Please tell me who that was. I saw the text. And I kept replaying what I could have done. Should I ran to the bathroom? Should I I'm like, what should I have done?
Tackle him and read it.
I was like, I didn't get to fully read it.
But you saw enough that it said, if you really love me, you'll leave your wife. It was an emotional, I saw enough to know instantly, this is an emotional relationship he's having with somebody. You know, this is a woman that is
screenshot it.
Having a relationship with my husband.
Would have been no way.
And we got in the car and then my voice got a little, who was that? Oh, like lower your voice, the kids. And I'm like, okay. And I'm calming myself, the kids are in the car. Let's have grace, right? Stay strong, poised, get home. We get home, blacked out. I was like, yelling, screaming, tell me, please, please just tell me who that was.
Right.
Please just, I feel so stupid. Just tell me, I'm having a baby. Please just tell me. And I ran out of the house. I got in my car and I just started driving. And I didn't know where I was driving, just driving.
I know where you're going.
Crying in the ocean, bawling. I couldn't even see where I was driving. And I thought I need to park somewhere. So I went to a park, parked at the park, put my hands on the wheel. And I said, God, if you hear me, please tell me what to do. And in that moment, it's so interesting because I knew that one day I'd have a son and that I would name him Steel. There was like this inner knowing. And when I had that conversation with God, and I was really just like a point of just, I'm surrendering. Just tell me what to do. And I heard this voice and it was like, you are having your son. There's a reason you named him Steel. You have to stay strong for this whole pregnancy and just don't make any impulsive decisions. Just keep going. Just keep this in the back of your mind. It's gonna live there, and you're gonna see everything's gonna make sense, but don't make any big decisions right now. And I went home and I acted like nothing. I acted like nothing. I didn't talk to him for a couple days. I think that was the longest we'd ever gone without talking since we met. I think we went like 2-3 days. And then I texted him and I was like, we need to talk. And we took a drive. We met in the middle of a street and we got in the car and he told me who she was and he showed me. And I was like, okay, so that was the girl you were talking to a couple months back. Now it's all making sense. Like you said, you were talking to a girl that needed help with Snapchat. And I'm thinking like, why is a married man talking to a woman about Snapchat? Like Snapchat wasn't even monetized in the day. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you doing? Like, okay, this is making sense. Okay, this is making sense. Okay. So I thought, okay, well, what do we need to do? Like, how can we move on from this? Like, what do we do? Like, I was like, and I didn't tell him this at the time, but I thought I can forgive him because he's crying out for help. And
she did this a couple days
because at the time I wasn't religious. I'm still not religious. You know, I believe in Christ, but I'm not bound by like religious structures. But I was very like, you stick to your husband. I was very like traditional in that sense. And I don't know who made me like that, but I was just that way. And I thought, okay, maybe I can forgive him, you know? And so as the days went on, you know, then we went to a trip to Hawaii. Someone said we should go there because, you know, that's where the heart chakra of the planet is. And, you know, maybe we can get some healing. And so we went to Hawaii. And then that's when I had posted that I was pregnant. I'm thinking like, I'm getting bigger now. I need to post. And yeah, it's a secret that I was carrying inside of me. And I wanted to like scream out loud that I was going through this, but I couldn't.
Listening to you say this though, Catherine, like so many times now, you've said the minute you find out, you're like, how can we fix this? How can we fix this? And I think it does connect to what you've been saying of like, you're on this hamster wheel, you're out of your body, all of this happened to your life and you're just going and you can't even like stop to be like, are you okay? Like, it's almost like it sounds like you weren't even like feeling, like you were just like, how do we fix this? It's like almost like your business. You're like, how do we fix this and move forward? How do I say bye my man and move forward? I'm wondering though, when you're saying all this, like, is he apologetic in the car when he's speaking, or is he keeping it more like brushing it under the rug? It's not that big of a deal.
I'm going to be honest with you. It never felt apologetic, ever.
Germany?
Yeah. And you know what's interesting is
connectivity through Spectrum is vital. Provides us with reliability, lightning speeds.
That she's spilling all the tea, and there's
even through our divorce, even through everything.
Person here?
I never heard him say the words, I cheated, until about a week ago when that first chapter of my book came out. I've never heard him say the words, I cheated. And when I heard the words, I was like, oh my God, finally I heard it. Thank you so much. That was all I was waiting for. Thank you. That's all I needed to hear. You could have just said it to me. You could have just been honest with me and just told me. but it was like I was being gaslighted. Like it wasn't actually happening. And it was like,
make her feel.
And yeah, I think that finally hearing those words was so healing for me, because it's like I wasn't going crazy. Like it was everywhere. Everyone was saying it.
Why do you think he decided to finally say those words? Just because you were officially calling him out?
That, and because now I understand the whole picture. I get it. I think a common theme for him was, because if you really think about it, what kind of woman sleeps with a married man whose whole identity is based on being a married man and being a family man, you know? So I kept going through those things as well, as like, women are really like that? Like women. And so what I was thinking was, he must have been telling this woman that I didn't care. And in that video he posted last week, out of everything he said, I mean, everything was false, right? Or distorted or whatever. But the one thing he said that really, really just like, it was like a punch to the gut, was that he said that yes, I cheated and she was okay with it, as long as, he said, as long as I said you don't embarrass me. And that is not true. I never, ever, ever said that. I would never say that. And I would never want my kids to think that that is okay to cheat on your husband or your wife. And I will make sure that I raise them and that they know that they never, ever do that, because that is so wrong. And you never cheat on the person you love. And I would never in a million years say that. So that was really hurtful that he said that, because I'm like, are you just accept it?
Catherine,
people would understand that better.
He's putting the blame back on you. That's him taking no accountability.
No.
Think about that. The first time he acknowledges that he cheated, the end of his sentence, he can't just say, I cheated. Yes, I cheated because she told me, just don't make me look dumb. AKA, you were allowing him to go and have all these relationships, and you're sitting here being like,
I would never, Alex. I would never do that.
And I think now also understanding like how you write in the book, you kind of talk about like once the first you really got the concrete evidence, then more came out. Like how many more did you find out about?
I know personally of women. Like I don't know them personally, like as I'm friends with them, but I know who they are. And I would never say their names.
Yeah.
Never, 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 never. I would never, I'm not that kind of person. But I know of many.
Many as in like?
I know for sure of 3. Like for sure.
Have they ever reached out to you?
No, but they're out there in the world acting like that never happened probably. And I know the truth.
How many do you think there are?
I don't know. I saw some headline things saying he said there was 20 or something. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Because I didn't watch his full video. But I don't know if he did say that, kind of trying to cover himself.
Yeah.
Because I think when he saw the beginning, the first chapter of my book, he thought maybe that I wrote a lot more about him, but I kind of didn't in a sense. Like, to be honest with you, it's a memoir about my life. But I will say that when you write a book, you always put the hardest part of your journey in the beginning of the book, right? To catch the reader, to really draw them in. That's just something that as writers is common. And so he really got it backwards.
I want to ask you, there were some like viral cheating rumors that I want to just like get your opinion on. Tana Mojo recently revealed that she covered for Austin after you found lipstick in Austin's car. What really happened there?
And I was,
so
when I found that
she covered for him, which I believe that it's probably true. It definitely happened because I remember we had a Lamborghini at the time. I never drove that car. And I got in one day as a passenger, and I noticed there was a lip liner or lip gloss, something like that. And it wasn't mine. And I thought, and I'm like, whose is this? He's like, oh, so-and-so got in my car the other day, and his girlfriend was on the lap, and I drove them down the street to get into their car. And I'm like, I don't believe you. Like, at this point now, I don't believe you.
Right.
He's like, I'm going to call him right now. And so I guess she was there.
In front of this camera. Sorry.
And yeah, I think, you know, I think her publicly talking about that is hurtful.
Trash.
Why didn't you call me? Message me. Tell, oh, hey girl, I was there on that phone call. I just want to let you know, that wasn't true.
It was also rumored that Austin would hire nannies so he could sleep with them when you weren't around. Do you know if this is true?
No, we never had a nanny.
Never had a nanny.
Grandma.
Okay. Did you ever get confirmation if the infamous yacht orgy happened?
Yes, I actually did. Yeah.
My daughter receives $1,800 a month for caring for me at home. She's finally getting financial support for the care she's providing for me anyway. Entire Care offers a caregiver.
Wow. And that was when he butt dialed you that weekend?
That was that weekend. Yeah.
How did you get confirmation?
Right. Through a friend who's married to a guy that was physically there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Years later, by the way.
Yeah.
When it didn't matter anymore. It just like, it was like, oh, really? Oh, okay. That's surprising me.
Right. You're like, shit.
I guess it did happen.
Did Austin really bring his mistress to a charity event you guys threw together at the Staples Center?
Hello?
Yeah. So there was this girl, the girl that I was talking about earlier, the one with the long text. So that was her.
Since that information came to light, Austin has completely denied it, said he would have never brought a girl there. That never happened. Like, what do you say to that?
To me, it's like, why lie about that? But now I know, like, you can lie about a lot of things that aren't true. So I'm like, okay, well, because the thing is that I knew that writing this book, there would be some kind of like retaliation or some things that are said.
Yeah.
I knew that, you know, something would come from this, obviously, because, you know, I wrote a book. I didn't know what magnitude that I wasn't aware of, but it's interesting because I saw it and I thought, this is not me, you know, like I'm past that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I truly feel like it was a test. Truly. It's like, you, Austin, you could have handled that differently. You know, you could have said, see, she has a book out, you know, and one of the things he said is, I didn't tell him about the book.
Mm.
The thing is when you go through a divorce, you don't really tell someone what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I had been promoting the book for 2 years. I've been talking about it. So he had seen it. I think if I would have mentioned the book to him privately, he may have wanted to try to stop me from doing it. So it was just something I was doing me, you know? But yeah, I think that, he could have handled it differently. He could have said, you know, I just saw that Catherine, you know, my ex-wife, she has a book out, and he could have said something along the lines of, you know, although I don't totally agree with what she said, you know, I guess there's always different sides of the story, and I wish her well.
And I'm not proud of the things I did, but we've both moved on and whatever.
Yeah.
I just feel like the Staples Center moment for him to try to say that wasn't true, it's like, again, Austin trying to reclaim this narrative, because specifically that, I think because there's footage of you and your family, and it was such a core of who you guys were
totally
to the world, it makes him just look like an absolute fucking monster to like, if you're gonna cheat, can't you just go do it in private? Like, you have to put Catherine and your children through this. And so I think it must be him trying to reclaim the narrative a little bit and like litigate, like, well, no, I didn't bring her here, but I brought her. It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, the crazy thing is, it did happen. And that's where I found out all the lies. So like, that moment was a significant moment in my life. Oh, wow. So of course I'm going to talk about it if that was life-changing for me, because I was pregnant when all of these things were going on, and I got confirmation from one of his family members saying, I told him not to bring that girl, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm thinking like, what, you knew too? Like, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just being blindsided over here. Like, I had no idea. Like, truly, like, yeah, I've been seeing the rumors and you know, the narratives, but oh my gosh, like,
it's the best face.
why can't you tell me? Like, why don't you talk to me? Like,
was this before or after the text incident that you?
That was around the same time.
Okay. So that's when it all started to like come out. And then to go to this event and have that woman there. And now he's trying to say no. Okay.
What?
Austin recently tried to justify all of his cheating by saying you guys weren't having sex. What was your sex life like at the time?
So, sex, intimacy is very, very sacred to me. Like more today than it has ever been. When I found out that there was cheating, I checked out and I said, my body is a temple and I refuse to allow anybody to come near my temple if he cannot be honest and truthful and loyal. And it was like, I'm checked out.
Two famous girls.
And it is true. And I wrote it in the book. I put the same exact, I put 4 years. It was 4 years. It was actually more like 5 years if you think about it, because
yes, I'm live on Twitch.
5 years of what?
Of not being intimate with him.
Okay.
Because just to be completely transparent and honest, because I do feel like a lot of women and men can relate to this. But I was going through a lot of postpartum, you know, your body changes, you know, you're breastfeeding and you're taking care of multiple children. And so we had my daughter, and then we had, you know, I was pregnant that whole year, and I was the cheating allegations, all the things. And I thought, you know, I don't know.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and freedom of creation. Being able to integrate and change and develop.
And then I got pregnant with my son, and I'm thinking like, maybe we can make this work. You know, maybe this is not what it all seems to be. And, you know, we had just moved into our new house, and we're like, you know, maybe we can have the family that we're always meant to have, you know, the family that we're portrayed to the world, you know, maybe we can really be that. And I got pregnant, and then and then I found out he was cheating on me, and that was it. That was a never, ever, like.
Try it again.
Never again.
Never again.
And did he pursue you at all? Like, did he try?
No. And that's how I knew that there's cheating going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair.
And you know, now I know how that's not normal. At the time, I thought, you know, we're going through a lot, you know, there's a lot of bad things happening around us. You know, we have children, you know, and we're overworked and we're tired and we're stressed and we're anxious and all these things. And now I think back, I'm like, even when I would we would kiss, or it was a disconnection. And I thought, this isn't my husband. Like,
prior to all the cheating allegations, like, did you have like a healthy intimacy life with him?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what part of, you know, our love and our bond. It's like we are so deeply connected, like in all ways. And yeah, I'm a huge part of this problem, though. It's like I take it full accountability on being in a relationship with someone and not also pursuing intimacy, because although I was disgusted and I didn't want like to be intimate, I didn't have these very serious conversations like, hey, maybe we should go see a therapist. Like, maybe we should do couples therapy. Maybe like this is a normal going like another year without being physically intimate. It is such an important part of a marriage and a relationship.
Was it the cheating that really broke down your marriage, or were you guys rocky before you found out and with the allegations?
It was a cheating. There was nothing else. Couldn't handle anything.
I have to ask, Austin said you weren't having sex because you believed you were the Virgin Mary reincarnated. What is your response to that?
It's really hurtful because it's just such a strange thing to say. For years in my spiritual journey, I would, you know, everyone in my circle and everyone knows how deeply connected I am to Christ and to Mother Mary. More than ever today, I feel like I can connect to her always. And I think that's just his way to just throwing jabs, just trying to make me look crazy. try to paint a picture of she's crazy. It's kind of sad.
Yeah. During all of this, I think this is something that's very sadly relatable, but you didn't confide in anyone, right? Mm-hmm. For most of the time. How did you decide not to tell your mom or anyone?
My decision was solely based on the fact that I didn't want that to change people's perception of him, because I thought that we could heal and we can get to a better place. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to say something and then them like have so much, information. At the end of the day, it's almost like gossip, gossiping. And I truly believe that gossiping is poison. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, this is my marriage and I'm just gonna keep it to myself because I need to figure it out within myself. Mm-hmm. When I decided that I wanted a divorce, that's truly when I told my parents and my family. It's like, I want to get a divorce. And they were very supportive of me.
But was it like eating you alive, holding this on by yourself?
Yes, and for a while it was, but I felt at one point, I'm like, everybody knows. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody knows. It was like, it started to become so obvious.
I do think, which I'm interested to hear your opinion on this, like, I think there was a point where the public was almost shifting to being like so frustrated almost with you, because all of these women are coming forward with like pretty detailed, tangible stories. Yep. And you guys are posting like a united front, nothing's going on. How do you think not acknowledging all of it publicly impacted your reputation?
Right.
Call Her Daddy is brought to you by White Claw. I don't know who needs to hear this.
Soon, Germany and I are going to have ads this big.
Hello.
White Claw.
Oliver lost his family just like you guys.
Hell no.
How do you think not acknowledging all of it publicly impacted your reputation?
It deeply impacted my reputation.
You also put your PayPal?
I feel like I was in a fishbowl, and like I couldn't, like, it's like all these eyes pressing in on me, and I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Do I protect, or do I say my truth and then my whole life changes? You know what I mean? And it's like, I always thought about my kids first. Like, I need to be a mother to them. I need to mother them. Their mother needs to be happy, healthy, laughing, playing. Yeah. Like, I don't want to like have two separate homes right now. I don't want to have to figure out what I'm going to do for a living now, because we've been doing this for almost 10 years. We've been doing this for so long. And
are you loving the life?
It was just me trying to just like navigate that with myself. Like, I didn't want to make these big impulsive decisions publicly.
And I think that's totally fair. I think like I get why people would start to be like, hello, like, do you know, like, what are you doing? Like, say something or leave, or say I'm staying with him, even though I think
there was moments where I'm like, I'm gonna leave tomorrow. Like, I'm going to do this tomorrow, and I'm just not going to look back, and I'm just going to go, and I'm going to find a place, and we won't film, and people are going to wonder what happened to us. That, like, I had those moments. Yeah, I had those moments. Yeah. But I think what was the hardest part about all of it was that he would never admit to it. And I thought, well, if you're not admitting it to me, you're not going to admit it to the world.
Right.
So that was the hardest part.
Right. It's almost like you were in this like gaslighted situation where this person is telling you it's not happening. And even though in your heart, you know it's happening, you also are presenting as united front to the world. And it's like, am I going to say it?
While Germany goes upstairs. So we're going to talk about this situation for a little bit, you guys. I'm very bothered about a lot of stuff in this. First of all, the fact that she only knew him. The fact that she only knew him for 2 months and then she got pregnant. Red flag. Now I have a friend named Jayla. Shout out to Jayla. Haven't talked to Jayla in years. Jayla's from Dayton. She's a famous content creator as well. And Jayla Sims. And Jayla Sims met her husband after being with him for 3 months and got pregnant. And he seems like a sweeter, nicer man. Now, the thing about Austin McBroom is, did you fart?
No. She does not.
I thought the dog fully pooed it.
She's a girly girl.
It's okay. But Christian Black, I wish we could collab on Twitch. We can collab soon. But no, I do want to say, like, she did not have a chance to check who was Austin family. We don't know nothing about his family. I've seen Austin mama. She's like a black lady. She's a cute lady, but she's like a little bit of a hood girl. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Catherine McBroom wasn't able to do no daggone Googles. She wasn't able to do no Googles and see who this man was, for she went and had his daggone baby.
Yeah, she did not know that man.
And that makes me really nervous. That makes me nervous. It's my PayPal. It's my Cash App. You guys hit it. But let's continue to watch Call Me Daddy podcast. It's T.
And then he's going to deny it, even though the whole world knows it. And I've been...
Jeremy, do you got some words? Say some words to what do you think about what you've seen so far?
I think that I feel bad for Catherine, obviously, because she got cheated on.
She seems like a sweet lady.
But I feel like at some point, and I think she said she's part of the problem too. You have to take accountability yourself. Like,
what do you think she needs to take accountability for?
Girl, you could have been left.
Could have been left? $1 million a month? I don't know where I'm going.
Well,
I ain't going too far. $1 million a month, and I got about 11 kids.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? Do you want to be happy or do you want the money?
Not trying to be funny. If I was her, and this sounds so bad, you're gonna be mad at me. Oh, I would have been having a full-blown affair. He would have had him, and I would have had me, and we would have been in love. I would have been, oh, please.
Yeah, that's what would have had to happen.
Baby, and I would have found me a man with some kids, and we would have been on a secret private island. He would have been mad when I was with a full NBA player.
Yeah.
No, I'd have been like, no, it's totally fine. Me and Chris Paul are just friends. We do content together.
No, I 100%.
I'd have been like, oh yeah, me and Shaq only do content together, please. And I would. She's a cute little Latina girl. Bye. I would have had me a man. We would have been outside. Let's get you to watch.
And I'm pregnant and I don't want to leave and I have kids. Like, it's such a complicated situation. And I get with social media, people just judge on the surface. I've done it. You know what I mean?
Another thing too, Alex, is another big thing that I had in the forefront of my mind. And now I look back and think like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have been thinking like that. But I felt like if I broke the family, I'm thinking like I'm needing to break the family for this, then I'm going to break everyone's heart. I'm going to break millions and millions of people who watch us and who sees us as this power couple, and I'm going to break everyone's heart because this isn't real. This isn't true. This isn't what people think it is anymore. And I also didn't want people to bash him because I'm like, as much as he hurt me, as much as I feel like I got stabbed in the back, like I can handle that. But like, can you handle the scrutiny and the all this? It's like, and clearly not, because my book didn't even come out yet. And he, but for a long time, that was a huge part of why I didn't want to speak up, because I don't want the father of my children to get this like public humiliation. But then over the years, I thought, well, he already got it.
Bloop.
I need to do what's best for me. Yeah. I can't keep living in a lie. I can't not address the big elephant in the room.
I also will just say, and I'm sure so many people watching right now are feeling this, like I have so much respect for you, even trying to protect him, because I think a lot of people understandably would be like, fuck you. And the fact that you again chose to put your family first and not yourself first, and you really looked at the big picture. Like, I think a lot of women, and especially mothers, will be able to be like, I think I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
You talk about a breaking point, because I think at some point we're all like the cheating. And when did you know this marriage was completely over, and how did you go about telling him?
There was a conversation that we had right before he had this big boxing match. He was it was like our event, and then he was like the main person on the card. And the night before, I felt like something was about to happen. I don't know. It was like this like intuition feeling like in my gut. I'm like, I don't know. Something feels really strange about tomorrow. Like the fight was going to be the next day. And we were in the living room, and the lights were down, the kids were sleeping, and I said, I'm not happy. And he's like, why are you talking about this now? Why are you doing this now? I have a fight tomorrow. Like, can't you just be a little bit more sympathetic to, And I was like, but I had to say it right now. I'm really not happy. Like, I genuinely don't feel good, Austin. Yeah. Like, something doesn't feel right. Mm. And, we could have had this conversation after and this and that. And then the next day, he got really sick right before his fight. He had 103 fever. He was really sick. It felt like a message. It didn't feel like he just randomly got sick. No one else got sick but Austin. And I walked they were staying at an Airbnb. It was like the whole team, everybody for the fight, and they were getting ready to get in the sprinter van or the bus. And I came in, had hair and makeup done, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, come into the room. He's like, feel my forehead. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like he's like, I have 103 fever. It just came a couple hours ago. I don't know. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do? I was like, you can't fight. He's like, no, I have to. Like, I can't not. And mind you, we just had this conversation about yesterday, like this gut feeling, like something doesn't feel right. And like, I feel like what happened that night in the fight was very, it was like a mirror of what's going on in our internal life.
Can you explain just if people didn't see the fight?
Yeah. So basically, he got really sick. Mm-hmm. I went out into the floor, we're all watching them on the ring, and the first time he got knocked down, I thought, oh my God, this is the first time I've ever seen my husband crumble. Oh. And my heart stopped, and I wanted to scream and cry and yell, and just, I hated that moment. And then there was a voice, and then he got knocked down. It was the second one, and then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth, and he just kept standing up. And I kept thinking, oh my gosh, this is who he is. He always stands up when he falls. Mm-hmm. And I heard this voice, and it was like, it's okay. He's having an ego death. He has to go through this. Hold space for him. Everything's gonna be okay.
She is tapped in.
And we left the ring. We got in the ambulance. He was completely disoriented. He just kept saying the words, I need water. And I was like yelling at the paramedics, please get him water. He's thirsty. He needs water. And they're like, no, it's against protocol. We can't give him water. We have to wait to get him into the hospital and check in and this and that. And so, that happened. And then the next day he was feeling better, and I grabbed his hand and I posted a picture of us holding hands. And I was so ready to let go the day before. Mm. And I was like telling the world, I'm still here for him. And it was like this moment of like, yes, we are not romantically together in that way, but I still respect him as a father of my children. Mm. And no matter what, I will always stand by his side. And it was like that kind of energy. So then it was almost like I was okay being in the relationship as a family, as like, I'm here, we're a team. Mm-hmm. But it was like, we were not a team. Mm-hmm. You were still lying to me.
When did you tell him you wanted a divorce?
So we had talked about it a couple times. I never said the words, I want a divorce. Mm-hmm. I never said those words ever out loud. We had the last conversation we'd had on separating. We actually talked about him, getting another home, and I was getting another home because we were actually planning on leaving the rental we were at. Mm-hmm. And when you have like really deep conversations about making plans and then they just don't fall through. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like that kind of thing. And then the stress of like life and all the things that it brings, so that wasn't like, we weren't like we weren't trying to get that done quickly, because usually when it comes to an end, you want to get it done. Yeah. Right. But we hadn't reached that moment of like, it's an urgency. We need to do it right now. When I had that realization that it has to happen right now.
Mm-hmm. Looks great.
Weird.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
I have to stop waiting for the right time, because there's never going to be a right time. The moment is now. And I had that realization when it was on my 33rd birthday. So this is really interesting. My whole life, like ever since I was a kid, I always said 33 is going to be the biggest year of my life. And I would say that just like jokingly in my mind. And I thought 33 is going to be the biggest year of my life. And then I turned 33, And I was talking to my dad and I was like, hey, I really want to go to this retreat in Brazil. And he was like, I want to go with you. And I was like, perfect. Like me, you, and Ryan will go to this retreat, you know? And I booked my flight on my birthday. Okay. And in that moment, you know, Austin and I, it was done. We just didn't we didn't put the wheels in motion to officially divorce and separate, but it was there. And it was
you
clear.
knew you were separated.
We were separated for sure, because it was so obvious. It was like, it was in the air. It was like, we hardly saw each other. We stopped filming.
So there was no like big moment that you were both like, we're done. Let's go our separate ways.
Well, there was, because I went on the retreat. And then when I came back, I had this massive, expansive experience. And I got back. I landed back into LA. He picked me up. I got in the car and he looked over. He said, oh, how was it? And I was like, good. And in my head, I'm thinking like he doesn't understand where I just went, what I just did, how, like, he doesn't understand. And I thought, that's okay. We're different places vibrationally now.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I'm going to say it, I'm going to say it right now. I got in the car, I closed the door. How was it? We're literally driving out of the airport. And I said, Austin, I need to talk to you. It's like, hey, yeah, what's up? I was like, it's not a secret that our relationship is done.
Ooh.
And we're both unhappy. You know, I've been unhappy for a long time. I know you've been unhappy for a long time. And I want a divorce. And he's driving. Okay. It's like, okay. I was like, oh my gosh. All right. Well, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I was like,
what? I'm so happy. I
was like, you know, I'm on your team and I love you and I want to do this right. And, you know, it doesn't have to get ugly. I pray I don't want it to get ugly. And I said, and I said these words. I said, let's discuss an exit plan together as a team. Like, let's do it together. He goes, yeah, we could talk about it, you know? And I was like, he goes, it's funny because my realtor the other day sent me a house that's for rent down the street from where we're living now. And I thought, oh, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, it's interesting how life works. And I was like, yeah. I was like, have you seen the house? He's like, oh, I'm going to see it next week. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then it was just kind of like, okay, like, we're going to do this.
Why did you guys never make a video to kind of like talk about your separation? Because that was kind of like your guys' thing.
Well, I didn't want to make a video because if he wasn't telling me the truth without the cameras rolling, he's for sure not going to tell the truth with the cameras rolling. So I thought, well, I'm not going to do a video with you side by side if you can't say I cheated on my wife and, you know, it led us to this path where we both have made mistakes. I would share my mistakes, you know, like I didn't have good communication, you know, I wasn't there for him maybe when he needed me emotionally, you know, and all of these things. And I thought, he can't be honest, so I'm not doing the video.
Okay.
And then he came out and said that you didn't want him to make his own video explaining the breakup from his point of view. And I guess that kind of answers it, because you're like, well, you're not going to tell the fucking truth.
He didn't tell the truth. He said, well, there's things that I regret, but it's like, that could be anything.
Right.
And then not to mention, so this is the thing about that. And I'm just going to be completely bluntly honest because at this point, just my throat chakra is open and I'm just going to be me.
Let's go.
When we discussed the divorce, I said, I'd really like to do a joint like statement. Like, you know, a lot of people, sometimes they do statements. It's just easier, you know, and he's like, oh, no, I want to make a video. And I said, well, I don't want to be in your video. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make a statement. He goes, oh, well, give me a chance to make a video and I'll show it to you. And then you could tell me if you like it. And if you like it, then I'll post it. And I thought, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm actually curious to see what's in that video, right? I was really curious. So I'm like, make the video. So it took a month for him to actually make it.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay.
Here we go.
I get to see it. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm so curious what he said. And I was in the room, in the office room, and I was watching it. And just blunt, like honest to God, was watching the video and I thought, this is like social suicide. Like, I genuinely feel like this is going to make him look so bad. And I love Austin no matter what. And I care about him, truly. So I'm thinking, if he couldn't at least say the truth, because people love truth.
Yeah.
People love when people are honest and vulnerable. And he wasn't doing that. It was like he was going around the truth. And I looked at him, I said, I don't like the video. I was like, if you post that, go ahead. But if you post that, it doesn't look, I'm just going to be honest. Because at that point, it's like, I want to help you too. I want you to move on in your life too. I don't want you to have this energy around you.
Right, but people are going to call you out and being like, you're lying. Like, this is a big fat lie. Like, we know you're skirting around the actual thing.
Yeah. So then I said, I don't like it. So he recorded me saying that.
Why do you think he recorded you?
I mean, I'm just finding this out, by the way.
Because you didn't know he was filming.
No, I think it was because he thought, well, this is what I think. I think he was never planning on posting the video. I think he made it. So, and again, I don't know, right? Yeah. This is just my speculation.
Yeah.
I think he made it knowing he wasn't going to post it, but made it so that, because he knew I wouldn't like it. Because he knows me. He knows me. He's been living with me. He's married to me for years. I'm the mother of his children.
Right.
And I think he recorded me almost purposely to get those words out of me so that maybe later in the future, if he ever needed it. Wow. And he got it in 24 hours. He had it there in his phone. It was almost like ready to go. And when I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, can other people see this? Or am I the only one who sees, like...
That's crazy that he's like secretly recording
manipulative. It's manipulative.
And it's illegal.
Well, that's what I was told too. And I thought, well, I don't want to go that route because, I mean, we were filming each other and doing pranks and things throughout the day. And then he would say, well, we used to film each other. And then the fans would say, well, you guys were always filming each other. And I thought, oh my gosh, my book just come out? Because I'm like... I just want to move on, truly.
One of the biggest conversations online right now is around your ayahuasca use. When did you start taking it?
In that really dark period of my life, my marriage was going downhill. I lost my house. My business partners scammed me. Many, many things were happening in our internal lives, our family, our friends, all the things. I just had a baby. I was really in a really dark place. And my brother had been doing this very sacred medicine work for many years. And he would tell me all the time, you know, Catherine, one day, like, when you're ready, I'll be here for you. And it's a solo journey. All it took was one night of ceremony. And I had a full Kundalini awakening. Ooh. I remembered everything. It completely changed my life. So it's a very powerful tool.
I think a lot of the conversation online, because of what Austin kind of said on his Snapchat rant, is
I'll be okay
about your kids and wanting to know, have your kids ever been in the home while you're hosting at-home ceremonies?
No, absolutely not. That was a lie. I think that because he knows how sacred and how much has impacted my life, I think that was that jab that like, I know that means a lot to her. So I'm going to say this, you know, and maybe a couple of years ago would have been more hurtful. Now it's more like, oh, you know, just, but no, that's not true. I think that people will throw stones at things they don't understand. And I think that's what happened with Austin.
Has anyone ever expressed concern to you over using ayahuasca?
No, never.
Have you and Austin ever done it together?
No.
Okay. Can you please explain Austin's allegation that you, quote, turned him into a mermaid?
Oh my God, I love this one.
I literally can't believe that just came out of my mouth. I'm like, is that a thing? Okay, tell me.
So a couple of years ago, we were always making content. Like Austin has dressed up so many times as an older woman, as just funny skits and stuff. So there was, when I started my skincare line, I wanted to do a fun mermaid photo shoot. And I thought like, oh my God, this is so cool because I'm making a sunscreen and it took me a couple of years to get here and I want to do something really fun and exciting. And so we went to Hawaii and there was this girl that I reached out to that wears she wears like fins and she's like, oh, I have so many, like we'll do the campaign around the mermaid idea. And I thought that was so cool. So I think that's what he's talking about.
But you don't think you're a mermaid?
No. I mean, I think that I'm connected to the mystics and the you know, just these different starseed systems. And I'm just very connected. And I think that you know, I like to live authentically and I like to share like my journey, you know, and I'm very connected to these things. But I think when people were just making fun of it and he thought, oh, I'm going to use this and just extra paint her look crazy, you know, and it's like, I think for me, it's just funny now. You know, I think maybe a couple of years ago, I would have been like, oh my gosh, I hate that he said that, but I don't care.
There has been a lot of speculation online about an overlap between your marriage with Austin and your relationship with your new partner, Igor. What was the timeline there?
So I met him on my Brazil retreat. We met in the middle of the Amazon.
Yep.
The bespoke AI laundry combo washes and dries in only 68 minutes. Even smarter with smart things.
There is no limitation. We won't challenge completely. In the next.
You know, I'm very honest just with my journey. Like, I think for a long time, I was afraid of sharing timelines because I was so in the limelight and on the camera all the time. And it's like the timeline started to kind of scare me a little. Now I own them. Yeah. It's okay. Like, it was over between us. And it had been many years of us just not having this emotional, intimate marriage that I thought we were going to have. And I'm going to be honest with you. Right before I went on that trip, like the months leading up to that trip, I kept thinking I have so much baggage. When we divorced, because I felt it coming, when we officially divorced, nobody's going to want me. I have 3 kids. I'm you know, in this space, and people are going to just see me as, you know, the Ace family mom, you know, or whatever. And I thought, you know, who's going to take me seriously? And I don't want to date. I'm not a dating type of person, you know? And I thought, you know, I'm just going to be alone forever. And I thought, you know, I'm okay. It's okay. Like, I don't need anyone. I feel complete and whole in myself. And I remember saying that to myself. Oh, okay. And in that retreat, you know, I was there for 10 days, and it was 4 days of the practice. Mm-hmm. And on the 3rd day, I'm like, oh my gosh, like
3rd day she wrote.
I don't have as much baggage as I thought I did. I think it was all in my head. Yeah. I really started to sit with myself. And yeah, I met him in that experience. It was a friendship. It was like, never imagined that anything would ever go further, ever in a million years. Like, if you would have told me like a year ago, or a couple of years ago, that I was going to meet someone, I thought, me meeting somebody who? What does he look like? What does he do? Like, how do you speak? Right. And I've never felt so safe in my entire life.
Oh, don't cry.
And
right.
I feel like I earned it because I spent so many years just being there and just like
a man not sleeping with you, which is crazy.
Just feeling empty but I really had to pour into myself. I really had to do that.
How do Austin and Igor feel about each other?
I can't speak for Austin because I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think like what he's done publicly to kind of just like he got him a shirt on Christmas that says something about stepfather or something.
Ooh,
and I thought, okay, is he doing this for the Snapchat, or is he doing this because he actually thinks he's stepfather worthy?
Yeah,
you know.
Have you met Austin's new?
Yeah, I met her. Yeah, oh. I met her about a year ago, I think.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I like her. I think honestly,
we're watching Call Her Daddy.
I feel like my kids are the best, like, they're the best judges. You know, when they'll come and give me information. Oh, I don't even ask. Oh, we just did this with Alexa today. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, did you guys have fun? And like, just kind of seeing their like interactions and how they talk about her, or anybody for that matter, just anyone. I get good vibes, you know? And I think like,
hope you guys can hear
at the end of the day, it's like people meet each other where they're at. So that's them. That is their journey, and I don't judge. I don't have any judgment towards that.
Okay, last question. If you could just kind of give like a final statement to the Ace family who's watching and who's been on this journey since your first place where you lived with Austin and when you were pregnant and all the things, and they've been here for so long, and they felt maybe like we've lost them and things have changed and everything, which change is good. Like, what do you want to leave a lasting message with them today?
I would say forgiveness is key. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on and talking about this, because I know there's so much behind all of this, and that's why I'm happy I got to sit down with you today. And like I had said earlier, like, I'm sure at some point I've watched and judged and been like, what's going on? And it's like so nice to hear you sitting here and like talking through why you made the decisions you made as a mother and a woman and someone who really wanted to stand by her husband, and you explaining things is so relatable, Catherine. Like, so much of what you said today, I think women are going to relate to, and they shouldn't feel shame over staying. They shouldn't feel shame over whether they got cheated on, then they stayed, or they cheated and they left. Like, everyone's journey is their journey. But I think when you've talked so beautifully about you did what you could do at the time and it was your best. And now you're also at a place in your life where you never thought you would be. You just said, I never thought I'd find another person. I thought I'd be alone. I thought I had all this baggage. And turns out there's another chapter, and then there will be another chapter and another chapter. So I'm just so happy that you trusted me with your story. And I'm really excited for everyone to read your book.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
A man shoot rounds in me that's known me for 2 months.
If a guy will cheat on you, he will hit you, and if he will hit you, he will.
Okay, so there's so much to talk about it. We just watched.
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash.
It was crazy. So we just watched the Call Me Daddy podcast. For those who are watching it with us live on Twitch, you guys have to start watching me on Twitch. We're going to be watching shows on there. We're going to be, my little cat, showing tea. No, I have a little cat. We're going to be spilling tea on there. It's going to be a lot going on because, you guys, this was the food. Now, I want to call her Catherine McPhee. That's not her name. Her name is Catherine McBroom, and she is the wife of the people from the Ace family, okay? And in the Ace family, she was one of the first people to ever have a family vlog, right? One of the first family vloggers ever. And this was an absolute mess. It was a mess. And I think that she did not know him. I think that she did not know him. She did not know him. First of all, having a baby with somebody that you knew for 2 months, I don't care if you said, I love you the first day, the dates were down to the Jeff Ruby's, I do not care. You did not know this man. So when the real him came out and she's her second, third, fifth baby in, yeah, we got a problem. It's going to be a mess. Now we're about to watch Love After Lockup. And I'm going to be going live a lot more. We're going to be watching shows. Do y'all want me like TikTok? I don't know how we're going to do this, but TikTok, y'all need to meet me down to my Twitch. On Twitch, I'm going to be watching shows alongside y'all giving commentary. We are getting into Streamer University next year. I'm not playing with y'all. Okay? I'm no longer not going to be a streamer. Jeremy says, hey.
Hey, guys.
Germany's on YouTube. She's on TikTok. She refused to be on TikTok because she's already TikTok famous. Follow her at Makeup by Germany, and you can see her if you're on YouTube and on Twitch, period, right? But what I have to say to Catherine, I keep wanting to say McPhee.
McBroom.
McBroom.
Piaz. What's her name? Peas?
Britt Piaz.
Piaz.
Piaz. She is definitely a good girl, a sweet angel butt. But I can already see that she went into this young pie in the sky and they had so much money. They were making $1 million a month.
At least.
At least.
She said 7 figures, so that could have been more than $1 million.
My thing about that 7 figures is, and I'm not trying to be funny, this is why we both need to be on YouTube more.
That's true.
Down. Everybody needs to get on YouTube. I'm streaming from YouTube right now. That's a YouTube live.
YouTube is so hard.
We just did it. We just did it. It's no excuses. I need $1 million a month. First of all, what I would have done is 2 of those months, I wouldn't have did nothing. I would see the thing that you do that I think that is smart when you're making that much money, then I'm going to take my own advice. When I start making $1 million a month like that, I'm going to take 2 months out of every year and I'm going to call them saving months. I may make them like September, October, to where I save all month and I don't spend nothing I make those 2 months. September, October is saved. It's in the bank. Can't spend a dime from it. The only thing I could probably buy is my Halloween costume. And by the time we're that big online, I'm getting a sponsor. So I'm still not going to buy it. It's giving very much cooking from home, not even going out to eat September and October. The rest of the year, we ball. But anything you spent, anything you made in September and October, you do not touch. You do not touch. I'm talking about you do not touch. If you decide to switch it up and do a thing, and you'd be like, you know what, April and May.
I feel like that's impossible to do.
April and May might be impossible because it's Mother's Day.
No, I'm saying in general.
No.
When you make that much
but
money,
just your bill.
So
no, you can spend everything else. Just those 2 months in the year is the months you cannot touch, because that's a responsible life. You don't touch that. You're not allowed to touch that money in like 10 years.
I have a shopping problem now, so I don't
know. No, ma'am. But I gotta have a shopping problem all year. I just gotta take these 2 months, chill out, no vacation, straight work, and I would maybe be like March and April. March and April really be smart to do it, because then I could ball all summer. It would be like March and April or September, October. I don't buy nothing. Not a piece of clothes. I'm shopping in my closet. I'm doing it very bare bones for them 2 months. Okay, y'all, we about to watch Love After Lockup. Y'all have to start telling me, like, do y'all want to watch these shows with us? Like, y'all need to write me down in the comments, like, share, subscribe.
Say hi, Mia. Say hi,
Mia. Miss Gia, baby. She's TT's kissy baby.
She's such a good girl.
She's kissy girl. She just really is. She's acting like that for y'all. She's trying to be funny. Yes, let's watch together. Coco, everybody that want to watch these shows with me, y'all need to follow me on Twitch. Everybody hate Krissy. Follow me on YouTube. Everybody hate Krissy. Follow me on Facebook. Everybody hate Krissy /Krissy Clemens. Follow me on Instagram. Everybody hate Krissy. Follow me on Snapchat. It's a really weird name.
We didn't finish debriefing about the Catherine thing.
Continue to debrief. Let's talk about it.
Okay, let's really get into...
Tell you how you feeling. Germany's talking.
I don't know. Okay, because I know the Ace family and I know Catherine.
Okay.
Bad. And I'm just like, Catherine, now you knew that man was cheating on you for a long time. Why did you just deny it to the public like that and just look like that?
She had 3 kids and she was allowed to be Delulu. What's the issue?
I just think like, I don't know. I just feel like that is just, I feel bad for her, I guess.
I see, she was very young when she got with him, but she also, can I be honest, she had hoop dreams. Remember, he was playing at a D1 school. She got pregnant immediately, thinking that he's about to do something big, about to go to the NBA. He didn't end up going, but they ended up making NBA baller money. So I'm sorry. My girl got a little bit of that stuff on her. She knew that he was a come up, and she stuck with her come up. I'm not leaving no $1 million a month man to no blonde hoes. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. So you guys, we're gonna, Germany, you got any more points?
No. Sorry, my boyfriend's being stupid.
What do you say?
He was just talking about something we gotta do on Sunday.
Period. Okay, you guys, we've had fun. We've watched the shows. Y'all gotta go follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. I'm Casey. I could be Kai Sanat. Period. Thank you for following me on Twitch. You guys, everybody on TikTok, listen to my words. Go follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Instagram. Right now with my follower account going up. Somebody just follow me. Shout out to you. I just saw that. I need my follower account ringing.
Period.
Ring, follower account ring. Thank you, 5Jazzy57. Y'all go down and follow my Twitch because we're going to be watching these shows. Now, y'all writing, somebody said I'll make an account just for you. Yes, make a Twitch account. So y'all got to tell me what shows y'all want to watch and we could just watch them at home. And do y'all want me to do a mukbang style? Like, do you want me to eat? Because I was low-key eating. I'm the real Fatty McBroom, period. I was eating. I was on the camera like, that's crazy. 20 girls. It was getting bad. So y'all got to make sure y'all follow me on Twitch. Shout out to Bree Camp for my hair. Y'all, let me tell you real quick about my hair and then we're going to go. So, I got some tracks from I got some bundles from a bundle dealer.
Okay, T.
I got some bundles from him, and he's a really nice guy.
Are these it?
No, let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
He gave.
No, they look good.
The other one's dead. So I got some bundles before. This is my hair now. I kind of slept in it and had rollers, and I've had a long day. But so I got some bundles from this guy. He had a brand or whatever, and I usually wear when I wear my curly hair. That's Just Hair USA. So shout out to Just Hair USA. But this hair I got from the hair store, and it had a white ribbon on it. And this is the same hair that I wore that was mixed with that blonde.
Okay, T.
That's why it's a little thinner, because before she chopped it up, and it had like blonde pieces, and that made it like thicker. Well, the hair that I got from him sheds McGee.
Ew.
Crystal Page said we feel like puppy dogs. Shedding boots, like every time I would come in, and then it was so thick and pretty. And so you see my last video when I had like that green dress, it was kind of thick and pretty, but y'all, you have a news reporter voice. Yes, and Drea, thank you. I have a news reporter's degree. Yes, I have a communication journalism degree. So your girl paid Sally Mae to be able to talk like this, walk like this. Y'all follow me on Twitch. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. Stop playing with them, Riot. But anyway, back to this hair, and I'm gonna go. Baby, that hair, she mixed it in between this hair, because this hair is silky. It's not sheddy. It's really nice. Like, look, no sheddy. I would have did that to that hair, and it would have been a whole puff in my hand. So really beautiful guy, really beautiful gowns, but that hair was not good hair, baby. It was free, but everything that's free ain't freaky, okay? Everything. You shouldn't freak everything that's free. That's basically what I'm getting from that. So you guys, thank you for my live.
You're getting off live with TikTok?
I'm getting off live. TikTok, you want to watch me watch the show?
I feel like they don't care.
TikTok, do y'all want to stay? You ignore my question. What you act? Just act natural.
Hi.
Just act natural. What's your Twitch name? Everybody hate Krissy Genesis. Everybody hate Krissy. Same thing. Thank you. I'm very pretty. What she asked me? Oh, period, Kai. Why you ignore my question? Just act natural. What she asked me? Hold on. Why is India Love on Streamer University? Oh, you want to talk about that? Jeremy, let's talk about that.
Oh, sorry, my boyfriend got on my nerves. But
no, he's a good man, Savannah. Shout out to
so
Savannah, our best friend, Savannah Hernandez. She should be here.
What are we doing?
She got a big girl job. So anyway, they just asked me why India Love was on Streamer University.
Oh, with Duke Dennis?
No, he broke up with her today.
Thank God.
And let me tell you something. I love India Love down, but stay away from my man.
I was like, two things can happen. He can either think she's ran through, or we're never gonna do it.
No. Dang. She could be in my live.
Anyway.
We gotta call her back. We gotta call you back, sister. Daisy, if you're on any one of these lives, write me, because I'm streaming.
But anyway, I'm glad that he gave her, and he was like, no.
He was like, no.
You said that he broke up with her.
Sister, he never got with her.
They were doing too much.
He never got with her.
I thought he would have got with Quinn, but he was like, no thanks.
No, y'all know I think she is a nutcase.
I think
Quinn is I think she's beautiful. I used to think Quinn was kind of, never think she was ugly.
You guys said she was ugly in Puerto Rico.
Who said she was ugly?
Yeah.
I don't think Quinn Blackwell is ugly at all. I would never call her ugly as a black woman. She's beautiful black features. We kind of like cousins.
I think she's a bad bitch.
I think she's pretty. I think she's really smart for messing with Diplo. Thought that put the J in genius. I love that. I love that. Yes, Ashley V1982 is now following me on Twitch. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's go back to that Duke Dennis and Streamer University. Mm-hmm. So first of all, Germany, tell them right now, who did I, now I'm not in love with him no more, because I can't be in love with nobody but one person. But at the same time, who used to be my celebrity crush?
Zook Zenith.
Before anybody, y'all was not talking about him. Everybody, Jeremy, that was at your old apartment.
I know.
Yes, and I was to be like, y'all, I seen a man.
You showed Sav, she took him from you, then Sav showed me, and I took him for her.
Everybody took him from me, but the gag was, and we talked about this before, he was really more like, Germany, come back, I'm easier. He wants some chocolate and like
I hope so.
He was a chocolate model size because he was dating Callie. Y'all know Callie? You wanted something. You got something, got me swinging for that. That. Yeah. Coco Verse, thank you so much for following me. So that girl, he was dating her. Now the thing about it is where I might have y'all lock, you and Savannah with that. Her birthday is like 2 days before mine. So I was like, ooh, he want a real July Leo, baby. He want to get scratched up. He trying to get cuddled on and scratched up. He went with her and ATL Jacob went with her. And they was both shook about her.
Interesting.
They was both shook about her. They was both kind of like, and then she went and got like engaged to that NFL player. He treats her good.
That's good.
She had a brand new baby. Her body is T, capital T. Callie is thick as me now. Her body looks so pretty.
Dead.
I'm like, what is, first of all, Germany, I already love your body. You're the size of a model. What is your body about to give after a baby?
I don't know.
Sister, that lady is a big fine woman now. Because she was thin before. Now her body is like, I cannot wait to show you. Can you pull it up on your phone?
Yeah.
Type in Callie. No. Go to her IG, KALIII. I'm telling you right now. Thank you, Chicago Buyers Group. That was
Zook is somebody you gotta act like you don't like at all.
Thank you. I wouldn't. India Love went on there and she was thirsty. All that, I'm gonna smell you. Yeah, your hair smells so good. He's like, bro, he fine and chocolate and like kind of gangster. He's not.
I'm like, hi, what's your name? Oh, okay, cool.
Nice to meet you. And I would have, and he would have only seen me in the hallway. Cool. And now, mind you, the only thing I could think that you would do is probably play super duper duper friend zone. I would have been like, that's my homie, Duke. Like, what do you have to know?
How do you spell his ex-girlfriend?
KALIII, all the I's.
Okay. Okay. Aww. Okay.
Look at her now.
Yeah.
That's a big fine woman. A big fine woman. Okay, baby, this is her after a baby. I saw this the other day and I said, that's her real body. I said, Callie, the baby made you like, hello? Hello? This was a skinny lady. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see if she got some pictures before her baby.
You gotta scroll.
You gotta scroll, Boots, but you kind of like.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Way different. And I guess it was a little something. Well, no, this is a big fine woman. How old is that baby? Maybe we're not going back far enough.
That's why I'm like, I feel like you gotta scroll.
But I feel like she was just pregnant. It was actually a little body. Maybe I'm underestimating.
Was she married?
No, she engaged.
That's good.
And her man is like a super duper 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 good man. Super duper duper good man. And I'm like, okay, see this lady right here, she ain't gonna get with you unless you're super obsessed and on her body bad.
Right.
And she got 1 million followers. I'm like, that's a real July Leo. We won't fool with folk that don't fool with us heavy. You got to be in love with me. You got to be in like, I'm not dealing with nobody that's not super duper head over heels in love with me. I can't do it. I don't know what that's like because I'll die. I'll pass away.
Your thing is sliding, girl.
Oh, it's sliding. Oh, shoot. I was looking for her man. But yeah, so how India Love is acting with Duke Dennis is a turnoff. Now, you got to understand, she's 28 years old. He's 31. So he's a 30-something-year-old man. So he's kind of grown. So all that like little high school behavior, that's another thing that's going to turn a big 31-year-old tax-paying grown man off. The courtroom is shaking. Oh, with Diddy? Girl. Diddy going to prison, but he might get out like Bill Cosby. That ain't got nothing to do with me. It really does not.
He better start saying he about to talk and tell it all. I bet he get out quick.
Well, then they're gonna unlive him. or I don't know this. Y'all tell me what y'all think. We got 4 years of a Trump presidency. Do you think that he would pardon Diddy? He pardoned Diddy. Diddy is going to body them people. I think some people, he pardons Diddy. Cassie's gonna have to go into WITSEC. Albie Shore's gonna have to go into WITSEC.
I don't think he will.
I think that he would. They would like literally.
I don't think he will.
They would have to literally like move. They would have to move to the next earth. The nails are tea. They're actually horrible. This lady ate up my cuticles. She cut them up real bad.
I want a Russian manicure so bad.
What's that?
That's when they like really get into your nail beds and like, I don't know, it takes 3 hours.
Have them do it because these are my real nails. These are my real nails.
You need a Russian manicure then.
These are not fake nails. I don't need fake nails.
I do.
And that's okay. And that's okay. He's like, oh no, I like them. Yeah, I feel like I tried to just do a natural pink. They were weird with the paint. Like, it's just like, I went to a bad place. I didn't go to my room. Yes.
I love a red nail.
It's so 1976.
Kendall said it's old lady.
No, I like it.
I don't care.
To me, it's 70s porn star.
He said it's foxy.
I like it. It's 70s. Them ladies did not wear nothing but a red nail with every outfit. And I think that's cunty.
I like it.
I like it too. I like it too. It's giving me very much chocolate cherry. I'm doing a clear thing because y'all got to understand, like, I'm Baby Spice.
Yes, he got Kodak Black out.
Yes, he did get Kodak Black out, but he didn't send Kodak Black to rehab. Your mannerisms when giving the tea reminds me of Wendy, and I really like that. Thank you, Jazzy57.
Yes.
Wendy. No, we love Wendy. One thing we don't watch around here is Sherry.
No, we don't.
Girl, bye.
She still has that show.
Tamron Hall, yes. Jennifer Hudson. Oh, people be walking that little.
All I see is the walk down.
All I see is that walk down.
I have nothing one.
All I see. Oh, why is this turned like this?
I don't know.
All of a sudden it turned. All I see is that lady have the walking down the halls, and I've never watched. Have you watched an episode of Jennifer Hudson?
No,
I've never watched it either.
I don't think it's good. Probably.
I really love her. Somebody said, "Come through red." Thank you, Grace. Grace said, "Come through red." Germany. Has Trump pardoned any blacks? He pardoned so many blacks today. He pardoned Larry Hoover. I think I'm Big Meech. Larry Hoover. He pardoned the co-founder of Death Row Records alongside Suge Knight, a man named Michael that was facing a bunch of years, big years. He let out NBA YoungBoy. Okay, he pardoned NBA YoungBoy. So NBA YoungBoy is in prison and Lil Durk is not. No, backwards. NBA YoungBoy is out of jail. Lil Durk is in prison.
Oh yeah.
And they're kind of the reasons. Well, you know what's interesting about NBA YoungBoy being in prison? NBA YoungBoy is really in prison for scamming. Like, he didn't really get in trouble like for all the unalivings because Quando Wando's still alive. Like, his dudes are still kind of alive, but he got in trouble for scamming. And it's interesting to me that a lot of people that Trump let out, most of the people that he let out is for fraud. He let out all the scammers. So it's kind of giving, you should have did that $1 million PPP loan. Trump would have let you out.
I don't know about that.
Okay, maybe I took it far.
I feel like people are going to jail.
I'm always taking stuff to the moon.
He's getting out rappers, girl, not Cindy
No. He's getting out gangsters. Larry Hoover, the one
Well,
dude.
I'm talking about like those are like famous people.
Yeah, but they're also like dudes that was big gangsters in the 80s. That was probably friend, and that's what I said on my show. They was probably friends with Trump, and it gave like, because he got out Kwame. Do you know Kwame? Kwame Kilpatrick?
No.
Kwame Kilpatrick used to be the mayor of Detroit, and he was real flashy mayor, right? And he ended up going to jail for fraud, but it was really like the fraud he went to jail for was using campaign funds to pay for stuff. But he said, y'all giving 90s fine. Oh, thank you. But really, he really went to jail for, and there's a girl on TikTok that was telling her story. He unalived this exotic dancer. Allegedly. He had a hand in unaliving this exotic dancer that he was having an affair with. And it's almost like the OJ trial. We didn't get you on the unaliving of the lady. We got you on something else. But really, you did all this time for that. So it's really deep. And Trump got him out. And do you know what he did when he got out? And I'm gonna let y'all go.
What?
He had a program. It was like a youth program. And one of the little girls in the program, she was like 12. When he got out of jail, like 10, 15 years later, he married her. Yeah. Those are that's who Trump let out of jail. Now, shout out to Detroit. I'm always in Detroit. My people's in Detroit. People from Detroit love Kwame. They said he was an amazing mayor.
Really?
They say it was really good. And it was no holds barred when he was out. It was a going down basement, right? So it's a ghetto hot mess. Well, we don't stream for 2 hours. We've been on live regular here for a little minute. I'm gonna go. We finna watch Love After Lockup, and y'all gonna catch the next live. We just watched this long thing, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.